Hi, welcome to tonight's episode of Real Perspective. I'm Russell Lockhart, and this is Steve Madden.
Hi.
Today we got two movies to talk about.
Yes.
One is the newest installment of Kung Fu Panda, so Kung Fu Panda 4. And the next one is an independent movie called Accidental Texan. Accidental Texan, and that's, like I said, an independent film. So we'll talk about both of those. So first up, we're going to talk about
Kung Fu Panda 4.
Number 4.
Yes, I love cartoons. That's just my thing. I can watch Scooby-Doo all day. Anyway, okay, let's show you the trailer like we always do, and we'll be right back.
It is time to take the next step on your journey.
I'm not going to be the Dragon Warrior anymore?
You will advance to spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace.
Inner peace. Inner peace.
Keep your surf off my turf!
Dinner, please. Dinner with peas in a sesame soy glaze. This is not working at all.
Tai Lung, big fan. Once I possess the kung fu of every master villain, no one will dare question my power.
Not even the great Dragon Warrior.
Who's that?
The most powerful shape-shifting sorceress, the Chameleon.
How do I find this, the chameleon?
I'm gonna lead you right to her front door.
It was against an army!
Then we'll just have to get an army of our own.
What is this place?
The best crooks and criminals live here.
You're a wanted criminal?
You sound surprised. Is it surprising?
Now you kids be careful of those fireworks.
Violence makes our tummies tingle.
Why should we help you?
We can take down the chameleon together. Being the Dragon Warrior, it's who I am. What do I know about being a spiritual leader?
What is it you're holding?
A cookie?
You were chosen to become something more than you already are.
How should we do this? Quick and painless? Or slow and painful?
Slow and painful.
You finally met your match, chameleon.
We're not so different, you and I.
Skadoosh. Stand back. I'm gonna kick my butt.
Okay, so in this installment, you see Jack Black's back, and so is
Do you see his back?
You see his back, you see his head, you see, when
Is
he's
he a
fighting.
panda?
He is a panda.
Oh, that's awesome.
And Dustin Hoffman is back as Master Shifu. So he's back.
Okay.
Now, we do miss the Furious Five.
Okay.
I'm a little disappointed about that. That's my only disappointment that I have with the movie, is that you don't get to see the Furious Five until the very end, and you a little glimpse of them there.
Okay.
But there is some really great actors in this. One, we got Viola Davis.
Viola Davis. She has
Viola Davis. Do what?
She is good. I mean,
Absolutely.
She is a
awesome,
fantastic talent.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get into her political views. I said this.
But she's a great actress. She's beautiful. I think she's just awesome. And she plays, Viola plays the chameleon, and she's the evil one of the movie.
Okay. All right.
And then Aquafina, who I never heard of. I just thought it was a water, but it's spelled a little differently. But she's a rapper, and she plays the new person that Poe is kind of tangled up in.
Zen.
Yeah, Zen.
The Corsac Fox.
Yes, she's awesome. I think everybody does a great job. This is just such to me, I've loved every single installment of Kung Fu Panda.
Okay, good.
It just seems like they've moved to a next level, a natural progression as you go.
Okay.
And it's like growing. It doesn't rehash anything, or rehashes some of this, and villains and everything here, but it doesn't like just get stale or anything like that. It's constantly moving. So in this installment, Master Shifu says, you reach your level, you need to be doing, like spiritual leading and train other people, all of that. And he doesn't want to do that. He wants to skadoosh and fight and all that stuff. Yeah. So it's just kind of a struggle there. And then there's a villain, which is Viola Davis, which is the chameleon, and she can be anything or anybody. And she's bringing back old villains. She's a shapeshifter.
Okay.
So that's what the movie's about. It's a lot of fun. It's got some really funny areas, cute stuff. Of course, Jack Black is the man. I'm sorry,
Jack Black has, he's been in all of these, right?
Yes, he's in everything. And that's the other thing I'm glad for, because sometimes you get to see when you go 2, 3. The second or third sequel, they replace actors because they're just voices.
Oh, yeah.
And it just irritates me when they do that. I remember Open Season, which was absolutely a funny movie, and they did number 2. I think number 2, they started replacing actors in it and getting cheaper people. And then number 3, I think they
got to save some money. You don't want to have to pay these guys.
I am so impressed that they've kept everybody here.
Okay.
So Dustin Hoffman, Jack Black. I think it's just awesome that they did that. It is a great movie. One of the things it is PG.
Okay.
And now it's going to have some cartoon violence. If you've seen the other Kung Fu Pandas,
I
mean, it's just like fighting and all this stuff. It's not like blood and gore and all that stuff. It's Kung Fu. It's just fighting and doing all that. Now they've got a couple things that are maybe serious themes that with that. And they've got one of the scenes that's absolutely funny. They showed in some previews is where the little kids turn into maniacal animals, like going, yes, we like violence. It's made for cuteness and funny.
Okay.
This is one you can take your whole family to.
Nice.
It's a fun movie. Even little ones will enjoy it. And the other thing that I will say is, that's the way I look at kids' movies. I try to look at them through an adult eye first, but then I look at, when my kids were little, I'd watch them and their reaction to a movie.
Yeah.
If they were fidgety and just wanted, to go on here and get on the chair, it wasn't keeping their attention.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I kind of watch the audience kids. So as we're there, I'm paying attention to them while I'm also watching the movie.
Yeah.
This kept everybody's attention, even the youngers. It's a great movie. It's a good movie for adults and kids. There's a few things that like the old Bugs Bunny shows where you had some of the humor that went above the kids' heads, but the adults laughed. So it's about the same way. So it's just a fun movie. I think they've kept it fresh. They've kept it moving on, and it was kind of a natural progression. For this, I'm not sure if they're going to make a number 5. I'd welcome it, but I'm worried that it might get a little bit stale at that point, because now he's up there to where he's supposed to be, and you don't know if they can do a number 5.
Yeah, where are they going to take?
Exactly, where would they go? I think here they've done it really good. I think it's just a fantastic movie. So that's my take on that.
All right, a few things. Of course, I've been scoping out all the information.
Yeah.
Now, on the future, like we just were mentioning, when they're talking about it, they wanted their goal was to bring this up to a 6-movie film series.
Okay, if they've got that goal, then they've got something for it to go to.
They do.
So far, they've done a great job moving it ahead.
But sometimes these reviewers. Sometimes these reviewers they kind of are not as nice to the movie as they can be. Okay, so a couple of things I saw here. First of all, Bryan Cranston was in this.
Yes,
one.
well, he's in there a small bit. So.
Do you know? Isn't it Bryan Cranston or is it Ham that they're going to try to make a new Naked Gun series with?
That was Ham. That's Ham.
Ham. Okay.
Yeah. I think he's going to be good in that. I think he's a funny guy.
I could be wrong. It could be Liam Neeson.
That's what it is. Not Liam Neeson.
They were taking him with another one, and I
think that's going to be good. I have no problem with that.
Okay, and
So,
Ian McShane. Now, Ian McShane, he's British. You've seen him in a lot of stuff, a lot of these series, a lot of stuff from Deadwood on HBO to, he stars in, Ian McShane, John Wick.
Yeah. John
Yes,
Wick.
okay,
Yep.
there it is. I saw some of this. Now, one I saw here was kind of funny. Mr. Beast as Panda Pig.
Yeah. And those are little side characters on that, so they're not like major characters, but they're just little characters.
That's cool, though. I think it's all fun.
It's all fun.
Talk to me about the spirituality of this one.
Well, it's not. It doesn't. It's not going to be. Except for being the Asian culture where they're trying to rise themselves to that level, and that's what he's talking about. He'll be a spiritual leader. That's all it really is. It's not. It's not. It doesn't go into that much, except for going in there and just concentrating and meditating around the trees and getting your answers. That's about as they get as deep as they get.
Okay.
It doesn't get in a deep dive of spirituality.
Okay, they talk about vanquished him to the spirit realm.
Yeah.
In the first film, that was Tai Lung.
Yeah, and this one goes into that. It's part of that. That's part of that. I don't want to give too much away.
No, we don't want to give the plot.
But that's kind of what it it talks about the spirit world as well.
Okay, so from your understanding of different, there's Buddhism, there's we're talking about an Asian flavor, right, of spirituality. Do I have to worry if I take my kid in there? Is it something that is going to sway them?
No.
Away?
No.
Have you ever run into Christian people that are just terrified of going to see something in a movie that has any spirituality? Because
I think it's that way on a lot of things. Where I talked to people many years ago when they said that it's Harry Potter, and they said, "Oh, well, they're trying to make us witches."
Yeah,
I'm going, Dan, come on, wait. I watched Bewitched when I was a kid. I watched Bedknobs and Broomsticks. I watched all these different movies about witches and stuff like. I never wanted to be a witch or a warlock. It doesn't work that way. And I get it if it's a true movie that's trying to sway you, but it's just about a witch or about this.
This is a cartoon of a panda. Think about it.
It's not going. You need to be this way. This is a culture. And that's all it is. And they don't really, it doesn't hammer you into that.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's fair. DreamWorks is the one who brought this out.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And they brought us a lot of different flavors of shows. Yeah. What was that? You know what? I remember the one, what was the rainforest one? Back in the day.
That would have been early, like 2000s or so. I know my daughter was
90s maybe.
Maybe late in the 90s. I remember my daughter being little, and she was born in 96. And she loved that. Yeah.
I love some of that stuff. When my kids were growing up, man, I would watch those shows with them.
And over and over.
We went to the Pokemon movie.
Yeah.
The first Pokemon movie. They're all freaking out, all the Christians. And I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it, And
I think that's you just have to go. Look, these are stories. And, growing up, I was fascinated with Greek mythology. I love
I read so many books on Greek mythology.
I absolutely, I still dig it. I think it's a great thing. And I've seen movies with it.
Have you checked out the new Percy Jackson?
Yeah. I haven't watched it yet, but that's on my list to watch.
Okay. So I saw the first 2 episodes. And this stuff, folks, it's possible to watch a fantasy movie and not say, and I constantly say this, Russell, is that I don't go to Hollywood to try to either affirm my religion or my Christianity, or I do not go to them to actually provide guidance for my Christianity.
Yeah. And seriously, you can even watch. I've watched movies that, of course, really, quite honestly, the 2 movies that I can think of, they weren't that good of movies. The Golden Compass, which is an anti-Christian movie.
Yeah.
I watch it because I keep my mind open, and no one's going to sway me away from God. Sorry, they're not going to do it. So I watched that, and it was really not a great movie. Yeah. They tried to be like Narnia, but they weren't. Then I watched the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, the Da Vinci Code.
And that was boring for me. Okay, that's my opinion. It was boring. And both that and Angels and Demons were just snooze fest.
Yeah.
And, just wasn't holding my interest. I will give a movie a chance. And I don't care if they're, I've seen movies that are, again, my rule of thumb, always is I will not watch possession movies. I hate possession. It's not anything because of Christianity or anything. It's just, I hate them.
See, the thing, there is a, what's the word for it? Kind of a hypocrisy in Christianity, and I'm not saying about Christians.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they're all hypocrites. No. What I'm saying is this: they'll go after movies like Pokemon movie or whatever this other one that are like cartoons like this or something, and they'll spirituality and that blah 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 blah. Yet they'll be the first ones watching The Exorcist when it's on the thing. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen these people do it. And I'm over here going, come on. You know, this is fantasy. It is not reality.
But back in my day, I played D&D with my nephews.
Yeah.
And I remember that movie coming out and everybody's going, oh, it's just demons trying to get you. And I'm going, we're playing this fake game and it's a dice game. And it's really
we need to talk about, one of these days, we need to talk about Jumanji.
Yeah.
Yes, Jumanji.
I love that movie.
Anyway.
So going back to the movie, it's just the Asian culture.
Gotcha.
So it's not really trying to push anything. So on that, no.
Okay, wokeness. God knows the rise of this.
Here's the thing. On the surface, you might think it is, but if you watched all the movies, it's not. So during this movie, whenever I was watching it, I was like going, okay, people may have a problem with this because Poe has two dads. But if you watch the other movies, you know that he was adopted. So the goose, I think it was a goose, the bird had adopted him. Mm-hmm. And then later in one of the movies, his real father came back into town and got acquainted with him. So that's why he's got two dads. They don't ever really.
Are they two gay animals?
No, okay, they don't even portray that. They just start talking about it's our child, our son, because they share their son. Okay. Because they both know that they want. It doesn't go into a relationship type of thing and anything like that. So I don't think that's a big deal.
Okay.
If anybody is offended by that, I don't know. To me, that didn't bother me. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the same as you see in a lot of them where they talk about. If you saw the natural progression of the movie, you saw that Poe's dad came back.
Well, when Poe's dad came back, did he hook up with this other?
Not that I know of. Okay, that was maybe the cell Lloyd that was on the floor.
Cussing?
No.
Sex or any of that kind of thing? Innuendo, dirty jokes?
Absolutely nothing like that. It wasn't anything like that as far as dirty jokes or anything like that.
Okay.
No.
So this is an actual movie. The family can
take it and go see it.
Yes.
And that's what I've liked about all of the Kung Fu Panda movies.
Okay.
Is that they are family fare. Mm-hmm. It's just a great story. And like I said, I think Jack Black is awesome. And I think he's a funny guy, and I think
Jack Black has had an interesting to me, it's a very interesting history in Hollywood. Now, when I first saw Jack Black, the one that comes out of my head is School of Rock.
Yeah.
Okay, that was one of his big ones, by the way. And then he starred in Jumanji, didn't he?
No, that was Robin Williams who starred in Jumanji. He did.
What did he do? I know he was in King Kong.
He may have actually done Jumanji 2 or 3. I think he may have.
He was in the further.
It was later on when The Rock took over.
Okay.
He did that. Yeah, it was okay. But with Jack, I'm trying to remember Jack on that, but I guess he is. But to me, I see a lot. I didn't even think the King Kong movie was that good. Not like the past King Kong movies. But to me, I always like Mucha Lucha, or the one with the wrestler. That one, Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre.
That's an awesome movie. All those movies are fantastic, and I even really loved when he was actually a leading man. He did
Shallow Hal.
Not that one. That one was funny, but it was mean. No, but it also had a message to it. That's what I like about that one. No, he did one. I can't remember the name of it, but I think it was like where where two women switched houses. One was in England. She wanted to come to the United States after a breakup, and the other one went to England. And so or Ireland, Scotland, one of those three. One of those. And then they switched spots, and Jack Black played a romantic lead. And I'm going, he can't do that. I don't think he did. He actually did really good. He wasn't as out there like he is most of the time. Yeah. So you think of him in Tenacious D or all these different movies, and he's just like out there. But he was subdued. He was like joking around and being silly, but he played a very, romantic lead. And I thought that was really good. It was a very good switch. So I really like that. I think he can do anything. I think he's really awesome.
Very versatile. He's a furry dude. Have you ever seen his beard? I think he does a great job. I think everybody brings this to life. I love Dustin Hoffman. I just think that he was made to play the master, man. He is good with the voice and all that. Yeah. Dustin Hoffman has always been, one of my favorites. I mean, I don't go for trans. We're not trans and supporting trans, but he did play Tootsie.
Yeah,
and he played it very well.
He did a great job. But it wasn't. It was
kind of like the Mrs. Doubtfire back then. You know what I'm saying? And Dustin Hoffman, of course, you go back down to Little Big Man. You go to. I never watched Midnight Cowboy. I didn't kind of.
Well,
subject matter, but
it wasn't that. I mean, it really wasn't that bad. Although it was an X-rated movie back then.
Yeah.
And I liked him in The Graduate, stuff like that. The Graduate was good.
Hall of Fame.
But I've always liked Kramer versus Kramer, which later going through my divorce, I remember watching that, and Rich and I hadn't watched it during that time because it is one of those very sad movies about divorce.
It is a very sad movie about divorce.
But
but when he does kid stuff, Hook.
Yeah, love Hook.
One of my favorites.
A lot of critics pulled that apart.
I don't care. I tell you what, I love that movie. That was fun. It was, anyway. But anyway, it's fantastic. You got a lot of good backing in this flick. All right, let's get to the where the rubber meets the road.
8.5.
8.5.
I just don't love it.
With those half reels.
I tried. 8.25. No, it's 8.5. To me, it lived up to the franchise. It wasn't as good as the first one, but most of the movies are rarely as good as the first one. Mm-hmm. But I think it just lives up to that. Again, it probably would have been higher if they had had the Furious 5 more than just 5 minutes. I wish they had been there because I like the interaction with all of them.
Now, the Furious 5, was the Furious 5 in the former movies?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm trying to remember they were in number 3.
Maybe they could do a spin-off, Furious 5 or something.
Maybe they do Fast and Furious 5.
Fast and Furious 5. You got Vin Diesel on there and just go to work.
No, that's okay.
All right. Let's leave that alone.
So 8.5, I think this is such a great movie. Yeah. I really enjoy it. Family fare. Take your kids to see it.
Yes, it's highly recommended. Yeah. All righty, let's move on, and we're going to move on now to an independent
film called The Accidental Texan.
Okay, and I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and show you the trailer.
Yeah.
What are we showing them today? We're going to show you the trailer, and then we'll be right back.
Congratulations on your first movie, kiddo.
You gotta turn that thing off before we go hard. I will. Okay, so Owen, on action. Tony Bob kicks in the door, lights the place up. Yeah, no, I got it. Okay, people, we got one take of this. Let's not mess it up. Oh!
I just heard from the producers, and you're fired.
Ah! All right now.
Have a seat, make yourself at home.
Is that your foreign car sitting out a little ways out of town? Got the Harvard sticker in the window?
Yeah.
Borlowski.
Erwin, could I get the Wi-Fi?
We don't have that.
Old school. This is from 2015.
Things don't change too much around here.
We'll get you back on the road soon enough. And while you're waiting, maybe you could help me out. A punch holes in the earth for oil like a badass.
There's a million ways to get hurt on an oil rig. Fall down, knock your teeth out, get blown up, electrocuted. If a pipe falls down, it'll kill you.
Yeah, I'm gonna step back, all right? You guys got it, though.
You know how much education I got? 8th grade. Day I dropped out, my old dad threw me up on a rig. That's all I know. They're gonna take everything I have and they're gonna ruin me. I need you to act like you are my Harvard-educated landman.
I know all the landmen around here. I've never seen that jackalope in my life. Check out his shoes. All right, we're made up. Let's start drilling. The Swift ain't gonna drill herself, right?
This is not where I belong.
This acting, this is always your dream?
Yeah.
We gotta find a lease, drill it, we gotta make a strike in 30 days. I think with your Harvard smarts, you can help me solve this.
You two keep scheming, and I'll start collecting tips in case I have to bail you out of jail.
You really are willing to risk everything.
Yes, I am.
He loves you. You know that, right?
When I get too close, he always ends up drifting away.
There comes a time one could sure use a little help.
You're shooting the ring!
Bullseye!
Boy, that looked like a really good show.
Absolutely. So this is Accidental Texan. It has Thomas Hayden Church. If you don't know who that is, us old people, Wings. Exactly.
Wings.
Some of the new people might see him in Spider-Man 3. Mm-hmm. He plays Sandman. Exactly. Sandman. He also did one of my personal favorites, just kind of one of those shows. No, he actually did George of the Jungle.
He did?
With Brendan Fraser, yes. He actually played the bad guy in George of the Jungle, the guy that was trying to capture the
George of the Jungle.
So Brendan Fraser, that was just one of my favorite movies.
And he was in Tombstone too.
Absolutely. So then you have a newcomer named Rudy Pacal. I think that's Pancal. He's in the TV show Outer Banks. Now that's about all I know of him. I haven't seen anything else that he's done. He's done a couple of movies, but not many. We also have Carrie Ann Moss. Now we all know her as Trinity from The Matrix. And she's in this. And then one of my personal favorites as well is Bruce Dern.
This guy, Bruce Dern, of course, he's old. Okay, he's old.
Old, yes.
The Cowboy.
John Wayne and the Cowboys.
Oh!
That's the only movie I hated him in just because of what he did. He's real bad.
And he killed John Wayne.
Exactly. So I've always liked the actor. I just didn't like that one movie because John Wayne's my hero, man. Mm-hmm. So this is a movie that is about corruption in the oil industry, basically. Okay. But it's a little comedy. It's a little bit of drama. It's all this family feel all the way around too. So it starts out with this kid that is an actor. He's going to make it big in Hollywood, and he ends up doing something stupid in the first take. Okay. It costs him the company, the studio, a bunch of money, and he gets fired. So he's like brand new. He thought this was be his outcoming, and he was going to be just this big actor, and he's fired. So he's headed back home and takes a trip to Texas. Now this was filmed really close to us.
Okay, hold on. I'm snooping. Snooping.
So this was filmed right down the street from us, about 40 minutes.
It was in Austin, Texas.
Austin,
Texas.
And then it went to Bartlett, Texas.
Bartlett.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
I've been there when they were filming. Absolutely, we were there when they were filming the remake of the True Grit movie. So we watched them film that around here. So nice to be in this area because you get to see a lot of these movies being filmed if you want to go and spend some time. Mm-hmm. And you see the way they one shot, one scene can take them hours and hours. It's such an eye-opening thing to see this. So anyway, so he's going through Texas and he stops in this little town and he just his car is breaking down. He needs a mechanic. And he stops in and he catches Thomas Hayden Church. He's in a little cafe. Mm-hmm. And Carrie Ann Moss plays the owner of the cafe.
Okay.
So as they're talking, the Thomas Hayden Church pays for his lunch gets him out there to get a mechanic out there, and he has a proposition for him when he finds out he's an actor. He said, I'm being railroaded by an oil company. They're going to try to take they're a big conglomeration, and they want my small rigs. And I've got till the end of this month to be able to pay the bill. And that's old. That's basic in a lot of movies where it's a bad guy versus a good guy.
Okay.
Bad guys, all this stuff. And so he pretends to be the oil expert to talk about that he's going to help him.
Okay.
So that's how he's pretending. He's actor. He's going to act this scene. And so that's where the movie begins. And it's all about the little guy versus the big guy, which I've always liked those kind of movies. And I mean, from the time that I was a kid, and I listened to the story of David and Goliath. Mm-hmm. You always want to root for the small guy, right? So in this movie, you're rooting for the small guy, and you see all the bad things happening and happening all the way through. Bruce Dern plays a crotchety old man. Go figure, at his age right now, that's what he plays. Mm-hmm. And of course, he was like that when he was younger too. So but he plays this old man that is kind of like the mid part where everybody wants his area, his rights to his place, and that would make or break somebody if they hit oil there. It's such a great movie. It's if it's not for the cussing, it probably could have been a nice Christian movie. That's the only thing. It's PG-13. There's some cussing in it. That's got bad.
Well, PG-13 is one thing. You got R.
It's a PG-13. You're going to hear cuss words in it.
Yeah.
But it's not that major. I mean, not the biggies, you know. But you're going to hear some cuss words riddled in there. Mm-hmm. And I was telling my wife earlier that if it weren't for that, it probably wouldn't have been a great Christian movie because it's got a great message to it. Mm-hmm. It's got a great storyline. It's about family, about friends, and family. Doesn't just come in what your blood is. Yeah. It could be anybody that's in your life. Yeah. So they do a great job on this, and I think it could have been that. And I think that if you get a chance to watch this, I love independent films. Tell you, a lot of my favorite movies, like nowadays, are independent films. I think that sometimes when you're not under the microscope of a studio and you have to do it a certain way and you have to do that, I think that's a great way to be. That's why I love going to South by Southwest every year. I'm not going this year, unfortunately, but I love going to South by Southwest because you see these independent films. Independent makers. And you see these, and the studios are good.
A lot too.
Absolutely.
What is his name? Come on. So Sundance
you're talking about Robert Redford.
Robert Redford.
He wrote that. Started it. So it's one of those things that you get some really great movies, and they don't have to be glitzy and glamoury, but you get these great stories. And I think this is no exception. It's a good story. It's solid. The acting is solid. It's just everyday life type of thing. I think it's a great movie, and it's a great way to spend a day to watch this movie. It's just fun, and it's you find yourself. I don't know about everybody else. I mean, I tend to get wrapped up in movies. Yeah. I have been known to, in a movie screening, to cry during a movie. Yes. I know my wife has looked over at me at times, and so it is. I get wrapped up and immersed in the characters. And true story, back when I was younger, before I became a critic, my sister worked at a movie theater. Yeah. And they did like a midnight screening. It was like a tech check of their films. So obviously my sister took me and that we watched Terms of Endearment.
Oh Lord.
If anybody knows about Terms of Endearment. During this movie, midnight movie, I'm bawling. It just hits me. It hits me hard. And we're getting up and we're going and one of my sister's co-workers going, who in the world was that person?
Who is that bawling?
My sister, that's my brother. So I get immersed into movies.
And it is true. Now, was this a tearjerker?
No, it's one of those though that you're going to go, come on. I want you to make this. I want you to make it. Yeah. Come on. You're going to be rooting for this person. And all the way through because you have the classic villain not with a twisty mustache, but pretty close. So you have that classic villain, and you have the classic, something happened in this life, and he hasn't caught a break, and you have this other kid that just needs a father figure. You have all of that involved with it, but it's more of, again, little man versus a big guy.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's what makes you want to go and root for them. So I found myself several times going, no, it can't happen. Yeah. No, okay, come on.
You got involved in the movie.
You do, and I really was just rooting for him all the way.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of movie it is, and it's again, if you can withstand the cussing, watch it. Because it is a great movie, man. I really like it.
When you talk about independent films, there's so many independent films that have made it so big.
Yeah.
They thought, The Passion of the Christ. You think about that, how much that, I'm sure it put a few
that was the most expensive
rooms onto Mel Gibson's house. Anyway, and that one, if you talk about horror, you talk about the Blair Witch Project.
And Paranormal Activity. Which was made on a shoestring budget and blew up, man.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that's what's wonderful about them is you see these movies, and they're raw and they're real and they're just kind of somebody's passion.
Sure.
And they don't have a whole lot of money to make it.
When the crossover to the Christian realm.
Yeah.
You're talking about, what was the most recent one about the child traffickers? What was that one?
Oh my goodness. I can't remember the name of it.
Okay,
you should prep me for that,
We're in trouble.
Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom. Yeah. And
that's a
you
great
see
movie.
some of these that are just low budget. They don't put a lot of them, but they really take it in. And which is fine. And these independent movies give these actors and actresses an opportunity to really show their talent.
Absolutely.
And a lot of it's from their heart.
Yeah, and that's actually will lead into what we want to do later on too, is add more movies to kind of go back to some of these old independent movies that you may or may not have seen.
Yeah.
And if you have, revisit them, I tend to do that off and on, is I revisit movies.
Yeah.
I've got a huge collection of movies. I love movies. So I will revisit movies off and on that really just hit me as an impact. My favorite movie of all time, because it made my love of film, was Casablanca. And I thought Bogart was the man at that time. I thought he was like great. So I love movies like that. I love to be able to revisit those. And so later we're going to add something to a little segment here where we're going to go back.
We can go back and take a look at movies, and then maybe you can. And if we get clips on those, I can actually put some of those on.
Because I know that one time, sometimes I'll talk to people. I love where I work because everybody I work with are all film fanatics too. And I remember we'll sit there and talk about things, and very younger audience, or younger crowd, most of the people I work with. And I was sitting over there talking about something and go, hey, I've never heard of that movie. Really? Are you serious? Yeah. Or I've never seen that movie. You've never seen the original Ghostbusters? No. Okay, what are we doing here?
I know.
Let's have a marathon.
Well, okay, I have to make a confession because it took me two or three showings. No, I think two this one, to be able to watch. I get so busy with all the stuff.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah.
Okay. And the reason I was trying to catch up on it, because guess what's coming out?
We have a new Ghostbusters.
We got a couple of, and Ghostbusters again. That's we'll get there. But that's some good stuff.
I get that for that's a fairly new movie, but I was like going, wait, you've never seen this movie that was like big in the 80s?
Yeah.
One of the ladies going, Russell, I wasn't born in the 80s. Oh, okay.
I asked somebody if they had ever seen the movie Better Off Dead.
Yeah.
The first time I saw that was back in the 80s. Well, unfortunately, it was during the time of my dad's passing.
Yeah.
But I watched that movie, and that became one of our favorite movies because it was just crazy. And I was teasing my boss today. And, okay, we talk about micromanagement, and all that. So I sent him a meme of the guy who runs the. Let me just give you a little. The guy who runs the restaurant there, and John Cusack, he's going to work for him. And so he gives him all the spiel of what he needs to do and all that. And so John Cusack gets up, he says, and he looks at it, where are you going? He says, well, I'm going to wash my hands. I've got to pat and do all that. He says, you wash your hands on your own time, boy. And I cracked up laughing. Crazy, crazy movie.
Yeah.
But then a lot of people said, what are you talking about?
Yep. Yeah.
Another one I saw they were supposed to show it last night. They didn't, called Digstown.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember that.
Lou Gossett Jr. Was it Lou Gossett?
Lou Gossett Jr., yeah.
And James Wood.
Yeah.
And Bruce Dern.
Bruce Dern, yeah.
That's the connection right there. Bruce Dern. I tell you, he's been in so many different shows. The first time I ever saw Bruce Dern was a scary movie. I was on a cot. I was a boy, black and white, watching on my dad's TV in the middle of his room, and Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte.
Oh, yes. Oh, man, that is a scary movie.
That scared the snook right out of me. I'm going to tell you what. Anyway, but you got to go see it. I mean, you got to actually see it to see what happens. But again, anyway, let's get back to this flow. Austin, Texas. There's Bartlett, Texas. Yeah. I tell you, it feels Texan all the way.
It's cool because you can, if you're from here, I know a lot of people that are watching this may not be Texas, a Texan or even close to it, but it is something cool to see your area that you grew up in.
Did you recognize anything?
I did. I absolutely did.
Okay.
When they open it, there's one scene they open up to, and you see the railroad tracks, and you see all the buildings right there. And I remember we've gone over there several times. In fact, when my wife and I were first dating, we had gone to Bartlett for something. I don't know if it was like we were like shopping at little stores all over the place.
Yeah.
And then we stopped by there to meet a friend of ours for lunch. And I remember there was like a little swing set over there, and you faced all the buildings right there when you were at that swing set. And Cheryl and I were at the swing set, and we were just kind of swinging on the swings. Right. And I remember seeing that, and that's when the film opens up to that town, you see that. You see that scene. Okay. So it's kind of cool. It's really cool. There's a lot of movies like that we've seen that come through that you just see. Oh yeah, look at that, look at that, look at that. So it's kind of cool. I even see, there's times that movies, because I have friends of mine that do bit parts in movies. One of my old friends was in The Alamo, the remake of The Alamo. And so it's cool he's no longer with us, but watching The Alamo, I'll spot Rudy off and on.
There he is. That is very cool.
So,
now,
this is a good movie.
This movie was off of a novel called Chocolate Lizards.
Yep.
They actually changed the name to the flick. They were going to call it Chocolate Lizards, but they changed the name.
I'm glad they did.
Who knows why they do. Anyway, and let me see. It's coming out March 8th. That's today.
Yep.
Alrighty, so it's released today. And y'all, okay. Let's do the rundown. Sex and nudity.
Nope, none.
Okay.
Not at all. They don't even. There is cussing. It is. I say mild cussing because they don't say the big ones, but you do have some runs of
It might seem really mundane compared to some of the stuff we listen to these days.
Yeah. But there is cussing throughout.
Dirty jokes, innuendo.
No.
Violence.
There's a couple of shots that it's just like where the people are going after them.
Yeah.
When they can't intimidate them. Mm-hmm. Other than that, that's about it. It's very minor. Very minor.
Okay. Any wokeness, gay characters, trans, any of that?
No.
No. It's an old Texan movie.
It's like Texan movies, and that's it's a little town in Texas.
Okay, fantastic. All righty, here comes the big one. How many reels?
I'm going to go 8.
8 reels.
It's not.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I think that as an independent film, I really liked it. I think it was well paced. There are some little spots in there that it gets a little bit slow, but for the most part, it's paced very well. It's just, some of the story's been done, but I think it was fun to watch it the way it laid out.
Okay, cool. Let me see. Yeah, it's coming out today. And then when is Kung Fu Panda coming out?
Today.
So we're hitting it. So
we're hitting all the way.
I better go get the stuff crunched. We got to get it online. We'll get it online this weekend for people who are wondering if they should go see the movies. And 8.5 for the Kung Fu.
8.5 for Kung Fu Panda.
And 8 for the Accidental Texan. Yeah.
And we would love if anybody wants to, feedback and tell me what you think of this movie. Let us know, man.
Yeah.
I love to talk about movies. I love to. In fact, one of the guys that watched this had recommended a movie to me and asked me what I thought, and I went and watched it that week and wasn't having any intention of watching it, but I did. So I do want to know what you guys think because I always like to hear. I feel a lot of times I'm not like a regular movie critic. Since when I started this 20-something years ago, 20-odd years ago. My daughter's 27, so it would have probably been about 23, 24 years ago. I didn't set out to be I don't like critics that just are very critical. Well, they didn't have this, they had this hidden meaning and they did this and they buried that. I don't look for hidden meanings in movies. I don't care about hidden meanings. I want to see a story.
Yeah.
I want to see what that story is. And sometimes I don't want to be, I want to be spoon-fed the movie. Sometimes I like to be where at the end there's a lot of times that the movie will end abruptly and I'll make my own ending up. sometimes I don't like the ending and I
want to change this.
But I feel like I'm a critic for movie lovers.
Yes.
It's a very different world than some of the critics that I know that went to art school and went to movie school and they have to know the cinematography has to be perfect and all that. I do comment on cinematography sometimes.
See that?
Depends on the movie. But I love the shots that they do on some movies, but it's not, I don't have to have that. I remember seeing a movie years ago that I hated and all the critics were saying, it's a beautiful movie. Why? The coloring in the movie was beautiful. But the story stunk. The acting stunk. No, but it was beautiful.
You're calling to mind a movie, and we got to knock this off sometimes. The movie Robin Williams starred in it, and it was about death, and it was
What Dreams
May Come.
That was
they
awesome.
say that it was artistic, the paintings and all.
It was
that
artistic, yeah. But it also was. That was one of them that kind of draw both lines. It was artistic, but it had a great story. And it got weird,
but you don't base your Christianity on what they are going on about.
No, because that's all about heaven and hell, and you don't want to. You stick to the Bible. That tells us the truth.
Hollywood does not. They're not theologians. Anyway,
some of them are.
Some of them are. That's messed up. Anyway, okay, a couple of things just before we end. This weekend, I think, is the Oscars on Sunday.
Yes.
Okay. And also today, which is March 8th, they are releasing what I'm so looking forward to this, Wonka on Max. If you have the streaming service Max, Wonka. And they released Mean Girls on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And that's already out there too as well. Kind of giving you a little taste. We review these, we talk about them, and if there's any hope for them, we'll point you toward.
But go see. If you haven't seen Wonka, see it. Man.
Wonka! I'm looking so
if
forward to
you're
this.
any kind of fan of the original movie with Gene Wilder, watch this movie. It took the taste out of my mouth of the Johnny Depp movie. And I'm sorry, I love the original, so Johnny Depp movie just kind of. Yeah. I love Johnny Depp too, but that one was.
He has his own.
I didn't
thing.
like that.
I mean, he's known for certain things. Tim
but I do
Burton
like
age.
It. Yeah. See, and that's what I'm saying. It was Tim Burton, which is awesome. Johnny Depp, which is awesome. Yeah. Flop. I did not like the movie.
Yeah.
It just took it too far in the weird. But Wonka, I'm telling you, this guy Chalamet.
Chalamet. And you got to see him too in Dune 2.
And Dune.
We just did that last time.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Russell, thank you so much
for
the reviews. This is good stuff. And y'all just keep on, we're giving you some recommendations and flow. We got 8.5 on the Kung Fu Panda. Go see it with your family. Enjoy. Sometimes you can't see it until it's on streaming like me, and then I actually see it. And then the Accidental Texan really sounds like a good dramedy. And you got some heavy hitters in there. All righty. God bless y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Join us next time as we go back and see how many reels that we can rate these movies. So, and we'll see you. And what did Siskel and Ebert say? We'll see you on the balcony, or whatever. But anyway, we'll see you next time on Reel's Perspective.